So I'm making a video to show how I use the UltraVNC software to connect to my home computer and control WSJTX to activate my radio, which is asleep back home, and use it to actually remotely control the rig on the WSJTX and be able to work WSJTX remotely from my laptop from anywhere. And so you, of course, need to install the UltraVNC software on your laptop and on your home computer, and then follow the instructions on how to do that. And then it's pretty simple, really. I download the entire package on both units, and then I'm able to connect from my laptop to the computer. As you're seeing, I'm connected to my desktop now. And at home, I'm running the OBS software with a camera set up on my radio so that I can see the radio and see what kind of status it's in. I want to be be able to see the SWR when I do start transmitting. I want to make sure I'm not transmitting with an untuned radio. I've got my radio set up to automatically tune on every band so that when I do wake it up and start transmitting using the WSJTX software, it will automatically tune on the first transmission. And of course, the internal tuner of the Icom 7300 remembers its tuner settings for each band and each frequency, so basically it will already know what it is and just go right to it as soon as we begin transmitting. So once you're on the computer, I scroll down because I can't get the entire screen on my laptop, so I scroll down, launch WSJTX, and as you'll see, when I launch WSJTX, it'll come up and it'll automatically start running. It'll be able to hear the input from the radio, even though the radio display is still sleeping. But the feed from the cat cable is still sending sound to the computer. So right now I'm just going to take a look at show you that the radio's off on sleep mode. And as soon as I start transmitting down here, the WSJTX, enable transmit, what will happen is it'll go ahead and tune up and start the radio's display and tune up and start transmitting. And I'm doing this from my laptop connected to my desktop using the VNC, the UltraVNC software, which is free to download. It's free to use. You can make a donation, which I suggest if you're going to use it, you do. But of course, it's free. So enabling transmission on the WSJTX software now, and as soon as it goes to transmit, you'll see the display come on, and you'll see the tuner will tune. Let's give it a second to do that. And there it is. It's coming on, transmitting, and it tunes right up. And so I keep an eye on the SWR, which is the lower section of the left-hand side of the screen there, and just make sure it doesn't get too high. Like if the antenna falls down or something happens to the antenna where I'm not home, and I notice that if the SWR is real high, of course I'll just shut it all down. And you can see you got full control of the WSJTX software. You can change your frequency. You just click on the screen like you would normally. You operate the software exactly as you would operate it if you were at home. The interface between your laptop over the UltraVNC is really good, really easy to use. And I can change transmission points at any place along the graph there, along the spectrum display. And so I've actually got someone who's actually responded to my CQ there, and I've got it set up to not answer automatically. And so what we'll do is we'll go down here and we'll click on him and respond to him, and go ahead and make that contact. I wait for them to actually do the full contact, give me their 73, and make sure that that's been a complete exchange. A lot of times you get right down to that part and it'll hang up where the person doesn't get your your final transmission, and will keep sending. So before I start logging it, I like to make sure it's completely done. And what I'll do on this first contact is, once it's complete and the little box pops up like that giving me all my details from WSJTX, I'll go ahead and log it. And I actually logged it on the connection from my laptop. So I'm using the browser on my laptop. I'll pause the video and use the browser on my laptop to log this contact. But when I come back, what I'll do is we'll make another contact with a station, and I'll actually use the browser from home using the UltraVNC software to launch the browser onto the second monitor, and then show you how to jump between monitors and scroll back and forth between the two monitors that are at home while using the laptop. Okay, so that one's logged. I logged it. And so then what I'm going to do is I'm going to scroll over here and take a look at the folks calling CQ and see if we can get a contact. With WSJTX, you can hear the entire band over here in this left-hand box, or you can just click the CQ only right here, and that will just show you everyone who's calling CQ. And I like to do that because I really don't care about all the other stuff. There's a Honduras station, so I do want to get or Ecuador rather, because I don't have Ecuador. So let me get Ecuador. I don't have anything confirmed from Ecuador, I should say, on QRZ. So let's call Ecuador. See if we can get down into South America this evening. See if he hears us. Okay, we're transmitting. Good. The SWR is still good. Now I'm running 100 watts out of my Icom 7300. The 9-to-1 Unon that I built for my in-fed random wire antenna is pretty solid. It can handle 100 watts. I believe it can handle probably 250 watts, but obviously the Icom only does the 100 watts. And of course the guy down in Honduras, he picked this, or Ecuador, heard us. He's answering. So if we complete this call, we'll be able to log it. And I'll show you how I can just like a lot of times I'll use my laptop with my cell phone for a hotspot, and if I don't have a really great signal, that can be really slow. So if I'm feeding back and forth the information from the computer to here to my laptop, I don't want to use up my laptop's internet connection trying to log it. So what I'll do is I'll actually use the internet connection at home. The internet connection at home using the browser on my computer at home to actually log it, and that's what I'm going to do next. So I'll come down here and I'll actually launch it from my browser at home, and it goes on to the second monitor. So now I got to switch so I can see the monitor, because right now we're just looking at the first monitor. But up here on this section here, right there, click on that, and that'll give you the ability to scroll left and right from the left monitor to the right monitor, from first monitor to the second monitor. So I've got my QRZ or browser up over here on this other monitor, and I'll straighten that out and put it down where it's a bit more visible. And we'll log this call in QRZ using the home internet connection. And I don't know if anybody else gets tired. Every time I always like to, when they got the web button there, go ahead and say hi or hello, you know, whenever they've got that there. And then log a new contact. And so if anybody knows how to get rid of this, it comes up all the time. If you know how to do it, put in the comments or send me an email. How do I get rid of that from showing up every time I start off a QRZ log? So I wanted to tell you, you can also copy and paste from the screen on the home computer. You can click it, double click it, it'll highlight it, and you can Control C, then take it over to even onto your laptop, the computer you're working from, and paste it into a field on your laptop. So it's really useful how it interacts between the home computer and the laptop. It's like you've got just an extra monitor. And so I saved the record there, got that done. And then just take a look real quick at we'll finish logging that, get that closed out. And then we'll take a look at PSK Reporter in the last few minutes, just running the computer from home. We'll take a look at that too. There's nothing else on here that we want to do. You know how to use WSJT probably. I just want to show you that this can actually work with the VNC, the UltraVNC viewer and the UltraVNC server set up at your home QTH and on your laptop remotely with any internet connection from anywhere. So I'll go ahead and shut that down. I leave the camera on and the OBS software running on the home desktop, and then I can at this point I can just close the connection to my home computer if I like, and pull up PSK Reporter and just kind of get an idea where the signal's been going for the last few minutes, where we've been getting to. So it's done pretty good today, getting out, being heard over in Russia and Japan, South America, Hawaii, Alaska, of course across the United States, no problem, the Caribbean. And so good day for radio, good day to operate. Like I say, you can run this remotely if you want to. You can operate your rig from a remote location with your laptop or other computer, simply using the UltraVNC, and just showing how you can change your different display options inside the PSK Reporter. You can hide the night shadow. You can take away the time slot, the time bubbles. And then when you hit the X up here at the top, that saves the settings. And then you can just go ahead and hit go, and it'll update the screen with the settings you've got set. There you go. That's PSK Reporter. So anyway, you can do it. You can operate your rig remotely using the UltraVNC and digital WSTJX. I just got to figure out how to run it with audio to be able to operate sideband from remotely. I'll figure that out and eventually get a video up for that.